Ladies and gentlemen, Sigval the Grim here, and today we are going to do a full guide on Injustice 2 Mobile and how to start the game and how to understand the game as a new player. And buckle up, grab some popcorn, because this is going to be a very long one, because I want to give you as much information as possible. So because this game, once you get the hang of it, is pretty easy, but at the start it can be very complicated and you can do a lot of mistakes. I have come up with a tree where I would go over every single aspect of the game and the subdivisions of those specific aspects of the game. On many of those things I have separate videos where I talk more in depth, and I will link you down below to all those videos, and I will tell you about which subject I talk more in depth. And in making this video I have both the perspective of an advanced player, since I'm playing the Injustice 2 on and off for 2 years and I did a lot of mistakes on my first account, and the perspective of a new player, because I have started 2 months ago a new account and it is going amazing now that I'm getting in the game with all the knowledge that I previously had from basically destroying my old account. And I'm hoping to share that knowledge with you so you too can have a great start and fully enjoy this game, because if you know what you're doing, this can be a very amazing game, but if you don't know what you're doing, this can be pretty unforgiving. So buckle up, grab some popcorn, and let's get into it. So first of all, I was going to talk about the campaign, but the campaign is related to something that I will need to touch on earlier, and then we will move on to the campaign. So first of all, let's get into this. It says roster. Over here you'll be able to find all the heroes that you have unlocked so far, and you will be able to click on each one of them and see some things about them that we are going to discuss and talk about some certain aspects. So over here you got the roster menu, and by clicking one character you can get some more advanced information on him. So first of all, characters are characters that you unlock in the game by many ways, but we will get in the ways to unlock characters later in the video. But once you have unlocked the character, he will appear in your roster and you will be able to work on a few things, and we are going to get into every one of them. First of all, this is going to be the ability screen. So those are abilities that you are going to be using while you are going to be in the fight. Those on the right are going to be usable in the fight. The first one, the second one, and the third one, they will appear on the right corner of your screen. So over here you can upgrade those abilities in order to deal more damage and give added effects. First of all, every character is going to have at least one passive, and in most cases, in 95% of the cases, the passives are very important. So the first thing you should do when you get a character is upgrade your passives as much as possible. The passives will be upgradable depending on the star level of the character, but we will discuss that later. So when you get a character, upgrade his passives as high as possible. Then you are going to have the special attacks. These special attacks will also cost credits in order to upgrade, that you have over there, but we will talk about that later. And you can spend credits in order to upgrade the abilities to usually add more damage and sometimes some more added benefits that will be of course wrote over there. So when you are upgrading your abilities, you should only upgrade the ability that you are going to use, and in most cases, with some exceptions, but in most cases, most characters only require one ability to be upgraded in order for them to be effective, because it does cost a lot of credits, and when you start the game your credits will be limited. Even later in the game your credits will be limited. So you need to be sure you are upgrading the right special for each character. In order to see what special you should upgrade for that character, you should go on YouTube and search some gameplay with that character, like people that use him in different fights, and see what abilities they are mostly using. And you should only upgrade those abilities that are most used, because some characters require 2 abilities, but most characters require only 1 ability to be upgraded right at the start, and the other 2 abilities can be upgraded later on or never, because you are using them so few times and the gold that you are going to spend is going to make a little difference. So overall, over here you upgrade your abilities that you use in the fight, and you should be careful to only upgrade the abilities that you need at the start, so you can upgrade more abilities for more characters in order to be efficient. After the abilities, let's get into another thing that is a little bit more simple. Talents. Over here we have the talents. The talents are stats that will buff your character, and if you are unfamiliar with the talents, that's okay, because I also have a video on how to reroll talents and what are the best talents to get, and I will link both in the description. But basically those are things that will buff up your character. For example, we have here over here defense. Defense means that he will take 6% less from normal attacks and normal special abilities, and those will help your character tremendously in the fights. But here comes the question on how to change them, because you will get a random one each time you change. I'm going to give you an example. Over here I am to change the defense, and I'm going to get some little chance. I want to keep my defense, so I'll press keep. So in order to change them, you have two options. First option is going to the free change that you will get every single day when you log into the game for every single character in your collection, and there's going to be a paid change after the first free one. In this account, this is I think the first time when I rerolled a talent using credits, because it costs a lot of credits. Usually I only do the free talent rerolls, and I have gotten pretty good results on very many characters. So as a new player, and even as an advanced player to some extent, because talents are extremely expensive to upgrade, I suggest you only go for the free refresh every day and reroll for every single character in your collection, because you never know what characters you are going to use. Again, I will link my guides about talents down in the description and about best talents, so you should check those out if you got the time. Next up, we are going to have gears. A character is going to have 5 pieces of gear and a 6th one that we will talk about later. So, first 5 pieces of gear are going to be pieces specific for that character, and it depends on the characters where you find them. For some characters you will find them in the campaign, for others you will find them in the arena and league stores that we will talk about later, and for some of them you will find them in the raid rewards that we are also going to talk about later. For example, for this character that I'm showing you, all of them can be bought from the league store. And when you go over here, you are going to see two things. That the gears are going to have a level, and they are going to be upgradable. They are upgradable all the way to level 60, to level 70, and the more you upgrade them, the more the bonuses will increase. And first of all, we got the stable bonus, the base effect. This is not going to change its specific thing that it gives, but it's going to increase while you upgrade it. And over here we got the chance effects. The chance effects are going to be effects that you can change with a currency over here of reforges that we will talk a little bit about later. But basically you are going to be spending a reforge in order to change one gear effect to your desirable one. The desirable gear effects are going to be different from character to character. I got builds for many characters, so if you are looking to build a character, you should check out the builds on my channel. But now let's get into upgrading the gears. So I also talk more in depth about this in how to upgrade your roster guide, but pretty much when you upgrade your gears, the values are going to increase, and you are going to unlock some gear effects. So let's take a look at the character that does not have level 40 gears. For example, I got here another character that is going to have level 20 gears, and as you can see over here, the third secondary effect, the chance effect, is going to be locked and is going to unlock at level 40 gears. The first one is going to unlock at level 5 gears, the second one at level 20 gears, and the third one at level 40 gears. And you should keep in mind that you need this currency that we will talk about later, gear materials, in order to be able to upgrade your gears. And you are going to spend this in order to upgrade the gears, and the cost is going to increase with each level. But it's worth keeping in mind that while the cost for upgrading increases with each level that you upgrade it, the values are going to increase at the same pace. So you are going to spend more and more materials to upgrade a certain gear as you get her to higher level, but the effects that it has are going to grow at the same pace. That is why at the very beginning of the game it is recommended to get as many characters as you can to level 20 gears in order to have the most optimal performance. Like, let's say 3 teams, but we will talk also about teams and stuff like that later in the video. Oh boy, this is going to be a very long one. I hope you got time for this. Okay, so you can see your stats that you get on your gears more in depth over here. in the stats menu. And those stats are going to do specific things. I'm going to go over each one of them very fast. First of all, we have health. Health is going to determine basically the health that you have, the amount of damage that you can take. Attack is going to be the amount of attack that is going to go into your basic attacks and into your special attacks. The more attack you have, the more damage you do with basic attacks, and the more damage you do with special moves. Threat is a little bit of an irrelevant thing. It's a thing that is meant to say how strong your character is, but you shouldn't really pay attention to it. Defense is going to be the amount of damage that is reduced from the incoming damage that comes towards you. That is going to be normal damage, except for armor piercing damage. Some abilities do have armor piercing damage. When an ability is going to have armor piercing damage, it's going to ignore the defense of the adversary, and when it's going to have dot damage, it's going to be reduced by something else. So defense reduces the damage incoming to you by attacks that are normal attacks and are not armor piercing or dot damage. Blocking is going to be increasing the base amount that you decrease from special attacks and basic attacks while you block. Stun resistance is a chance to resist stun when you are hit with an ability or a basic attack that would normally stun you. Damage over time resistance, it's a resistance to another type of damage that is not normal damage and will not be reduced by defense. And critical attack resistances is going to decrease the damage you receive from the critical attacks by causing them to be normal attacks, and we are going to talk right now about critical. So we have two things: critical attack chance and critical attack damage. So critical attack chance is a chance that every time you do a basic attack or every time you do an ability, a special attack, you have this chance to deal increased damage, and the damage will be increased by the critical damage value that you have over here. So you have a chance to do this much. You have, for example, here we have an 80% chance to do 162% more damage to your enemy, basically. Next thing is going to be the lethal chance. The lethal chance is going to be, in my opinion, a weaker version of critical attack chance, and it has a chance to bypass block, but this is not very relevant. Except for a very few characters in the game, lethal chance is not a recommended stat to have. After that, we have the fast attack hits and the fast attack chance. Yet again, we have a chance over here, like we have a critical attack chance. You are going to have a 10% chance that you are going to proc a fast attack, for example, on this character. And when this chance hits, you are going to hit this number more of times. Most of the characters have a base of 2 fast attack hits. And that means when they do trigger a fast attack, they will hit 2 times instead of 1 time with an attack. This only applies to the normal attacks and does not apply to special attacks. So this is basically the purpose of the talents that we talked about and the gears that we talked about, in order to increase the stats that the character has, in order to trigger some certain things. They are meant to make him more tanky, they are made to make him deal more damage with special attacks, they are made to make him deal more damage with special attacks. Again, it depends from character to character, but you should worry about changing your stats on your gears only once you reach level 40 with them. So right now, let's and one more thing before we get into it. We have the experience capsules over here, the increase XP. Those are experience capsules. There are various ways to get experience capsules in this game. You can get them by some chests in the shop that we'll talk about later, by some operations that we will also talk about later, and by playing campaign that we will also talk about later. In order to upgrade the character's level, you can just add all, or add the class specific ones, because they give a bonus of the XP you receive. The generic ones have the same value for everybody, and you press apply. And your character's level is going to increase based on how many capsules you are going to be able to invest in them, but their level will also increase by playing fights with them and in the operations, and we will talk about that later. So this is basically everything for the roster menu. You can have fun with it and explore around with it. By the way, you can also check characters that you do not currently own if you didn't know that, and you can take a look at their abilities and their passives even though you do not own them. But this is pretty much in very short how to upgrade your characters. I will link all the guides where I explain this more in depth down in the description. Now let's get into the campaign section. One more thing that I forgot, and it relates to the campaign. A character is going to have a star level. For example, over here, my King of the Tentacle Man is going to be 5 stars. You go over here and you have the shard menu over here. When you are going to have enough shards, like the specified amount over here, you are going to be able to increase his star level. By increasing his star level, you are going to boost all his stats all around. So you should most definitely increase your star level from characters when you get them, and you are able to promote them to the next star level. And the shards for specific characters are going to be gotten from specific areas, from some shops, from some arena events, and from some campaign. And we are going to get into that later, and some of it right now. Okay, so over here we have the campaign. It has 2 modes, normal and heroic. You are going to complete a chapter of the campaign on the normal difficulty, and what that will do is will unlock the next chapter of the campaign on normal difficulty, and at the same time will unlock the heroic difficulty for this one. And the difference between the heroic and normal difficulty is the normal difficulty, when you are going to play this, for example, it is going to list some possible rewards, and one of the rewards is going to be shards over here, shards for Silver Batman, for example. And when you go to heroic campaign, you are going to have a guaranteed shard for Batman, even though you can play this only 3 times a day. So by finishing a specific campaign on heroic, you are going to get 3 shards a day for this character that is in this bubble over here. And same goes for each character. For example, over here it's Scarecrow in the bubble, you get a guaranteed shard for Scarecrow, but you can only farm those 3 times a day. So this is a good way to get shards and to get some rewards. And now let's get into the end of it. You will progress to this whole thing, like chapter to chapter to chapter to chapter, and you will end up in the last chapter of the campaign. Again, a thing that I need to point out is, in order to progress, like let's say from normal 6 to normal 7, you will only need to finish normal 6. You will not need to finish the heroic normal 6. The heroic areas are in some way optional, but you will need to unlock some certain one of those in order to farm shards for specific characters. Now let's get into the characters that you should farm from here. First of all, there's all the way here Dr. Fate, one of the best supports in the entire game. You should definitely go ahead and try to get there as soon as possible and start getting shards for him. Over here we are going to have Bane, a great support also. Superman is a pretty decent tank. Greed is a decent character to have, though he is not a must-have. Over here in chapter 4 you will have the best character in the entire game in order to clear out campaign, and the best character for a new player, so you should definitely farm him up. 3 shards a day yet again. This is yet another good character that you can farm. And all the way over here we have another good character that you will have access to it early. You're going to receive a 1-star Batman when you're going to start the game. And it only requires 10 shards to get him to 2 stars. So you will need to go to chapter 1 heroic and finish this one as soon as possible. And then farm this one until you have gotten Batman to 2 stars, because it will be a pretty decent character for your progress. Yeah, so this is basically the campaign for the first part of the game, and after that, except for the shard farming, you are going to be able to farm the campaign for gears. Remember that we said earlier that in order to upgrade gears you will need materials, and in order to go ahead and change the bonuses you will need gear reforges. So after you have completed all the campaign, especially the last chapter of heroic, you are going to take it backwards and farm every single stage, decreasing from here down the spiral towards here, because you will not need shards for those characters over here in this chapter, except for Dr. Fate, are not needed. But the fact is that over here in chapter 8 you will have a chance to drop very high level gears. So you will have a chance to drop level 20 gears for Enraged Bane, for example. And what do you do with this? You are going to drop those gears, then you are going to go into your roster, and you are going to click this button. This is going to be Shatter Gear. And all the gears that you have collected are going to be shattered and turned into a certain amount of gear materials and a random amount of reforges. I'm going to do this right now just for the purpose of demonstrating it, but usually you should do this only after you have accumulated a total of 10k materials in order to be sure you'll get some reforges. So this is basically the most used way to farm materials and reforges. And after you have finished all your energy, and you have farmed as much as you could with the energy you had over here, you can simply go ahead and use some gems in order to refresh that energy, because it is most definitely worth it. So let's do a normal one in order to only finish the energy that we already have. And keep in mind, if you want credits, like the credits over here, you will also get credits from the heroic ones. But over here in the heroic is going to be 6,400 credits. Over here in the normal part of it is going to be 4,000 and something. But this is going to cost the heroic one is going to cost twice as much, but is not going to give twice as many credits. So in terms of just credits, it would be better to farm the normal campaign, the last round of it. But because of the fact that you also get more gears from heroic and you get some shards as well, it is regarded as much better to farm heroic. So you're going to go ahead and deplete all your energy, and then you're going to hit refresh, purchase with 50 gems. Trust me, this is a good way to spend your gems, even though it might not seem so. And then go down the line and keep farming those specific campaigns in order to drop gears that you will yet again turn into materials and reforges, and you will use them to upgrade the characters in your roster. In order to upgrade characters in your roster, as I have said, you will need to have some gear materials, and I will link down below a guide on how to specifically upgrade your characters at the beginning of the game in the most optimal way. But this is pretty much the way to farm gear reforges. And this is pretty much everything that you can do in the campaign map. You should go ahead and try your best to finish it as soon as possible, but you should at the same time take your time. For example, I am an experienced player. I didn't really focus on the campaign, but when starting a new account, it took me like about a month and something to finish the campaign all the way to the finish. So don't rush it, take your time, farm the good characters, and then start farming gears from here. Now we're going to get into a very, very important game mode in this game. This is going to be the arena game mode. So basically, in the arena game mode, you are going to play fights with a team against other players. Keep in mind that these are not real-time fights and are just AI-controlled teams of the players that you match up with. So you are not going to fight real-time players over here. So keep that in mind. So first of all, in order to do this, we will be required to have a team. And I have a lot of characters, but I want to show you something. All the way to the bottom, not that much to the bottom because I unlocked those much later, you can see that I got here, for example, Silver Wonder Woman. I got over here Silver Cyborg. And I was also using the Flash. Those are characters that you can get very early on in the game, and they are characters that you are very likely to have. They are not good characters to upgrade in the long run. There are much better characters in the game than they are. But at the very beginning of the game, don't try to think that you don't have good enough characters to play the game, because every character in the game at the beginning of the game is going to be good enough for you to fight in the arena and in the campaign with. And you should most definitely use all your resources. If you want to go more in depth into this topic, I have a video on how to build teams in general and how to pair up your characters once you have gotten enough characters. But for the very beginning of the game, you should most definitely use all your characters in your roster. And you're gonna be like, why should I use all my characters in my roster? What am I gonna get out of this? Okay, now let's get into the rewards of the arena. So we get over here into the season rewards. And you can see over here that first of all it's the milestone rewards. Those are going to be milestones for each number of victories that you get. You're going to get some rewards. They are not very big rewards, but they most certainly add up. When I started the new account in order to keep up with the arena, and we'll talk about that later, I used to go up to all the way to level 70 victories and much more above every single time. And for each milestone you will get a reward of credits and experience capsules, and at the same time you'll get a reward of arena medals and credits depending on your account level. For lower level accounts there will be more rewards on this bracket, but they're small anyway. So you will have over here tier rewards. The tier rewards are going to be assigned to you depending on where you finish the arena season at. When thinking about the arena season, you are going to be compared to other players. So for example, I am untouchable, because untouchable is I think from top 200 from top 100, because of the fact that I am the 145th player in terms of points. So in the arena you are going to rank compared to the other players. When you're starting your account, you are going to be placed in the newest arena that was made, because there are much more arenas. For example, if you have a 3-year-old account, you are going to be placed in the same arena with people that have been playing for 3 years, and this is going to be much harder for you to compete with them. So if you're coming back from a very old account, I suggest you start a new account. So depending on your points, you will get a certain rank. Getting into the seasonal rewards, you can see that for all these ranks you have some certain benefits. And the place where you aim for, first of all, you need to aim for Elite 1. This is the first step, because at Elite 1 you'll get 160 shards for the character. Each arena season will have a different character and you'll get shards for it. 160 shards are going to be able to unlock your character at 3 stars. So you will still unlock a gold character for basically just your effort of playing the arena. And on top of that you will get some gems and some arena medals. And later on I started doing this like 1 week into the game. You are going to need to hit at least Elite 5. Because when you hit Elite 5 you're going to get more power gems, more arena medals, and we'll talk about the arena medals in a moment. And most importantly, you are going to get 360 shards for that specific character. And 360 shards are going to be enough to unlock them and then to also upgrade them all the way to 4 stars. And this is going to be essential for a new player. As a new player, the arena mode is going to be the most important mod for you, and you should most definitely try to first of all try to reach Elite 1 constantly, and then try to go for Elite 4. After that is going to be just a difference in gems and arena medals, and it is up to you if you want to do it, but Elite 4 is going to be the sweet spot. And you're also going to have some arena medals, and you can spend those arena medals in the arena store that we will get into right now. Arena store is going to be over here. And over here you will have some characters, and you can get 5 shards for every 50 arena medals. I know it's a low amount, but keep in mind that they will add up. And there are some good characters to get and some bad characters to get. For a new player, what I would recommend to get at first is going to be Predator Batman. For further guidance upon that, I will leave a guide that I have about the arena store. And when you unlock a character from arena and from other mods, you can check over here, because this is also a place to get your gears for him from. And you are going to check through those gears and see if they have any gears for that specific character that you are looking for. And you are going to pay 20 arena medals for each and get your characters geared up. Most of the characters that are in the arena seasons do have their gears here, some of them don't, so you need to check out for yourself. So this is basically it in the arena. Yet again, I will leave down below a guide where I explain the arena seasons and the guide where I explain how to get Elite 4 every single season, so you should go ahead and check those out. Next thing that we're going to be talking about is leagues. In Injustice 2 Mobile you'll be able to join a league. From the league window that you have over here, I have made my facecam so big because of the fact that I don't really want you to see the league ID of this league, because it's already full and it will help you with nothing. I have a video on how to find the league and I will link that in the description. So basically, in the league you have many things you can do. There's the shard exchange menu, where you can request shards for a specific character, and somebody will donate, and you are able to get 10 shards a day. One donation request every 24 hours, and this can help you get shards to upgrade your characters. Then there's the league missions that gives too little rewards for anybody to really worry about it, so don't worry about it. If it gets done, collect it. If it doesn't, don't worry about it, because the rewards are too small to put in the effort in order to complete them. Then there is the raids. Come on, get clicked, please, thank you. Okay, in the raids you are going to have certain sub-bosses. This is going to be a tier 5 league. There are 8 tiers of raids, starting from 1 to 8. Each tier of raids is going to get more and more difficult, and you will need to fight 4 sub-bosses and then fight 4 stages of the final boss. I'm right now in a tier 4 league because I have started a beginner league and I'm helping them out, but as I have said, don't look for this league because it is full. Try to look for another league, look for my how to find a league video that I'll link down in the description, but most definitely join a league because you can do a raid once every 3 days, and you are going to be able to get rewards for killing the bosses and for finishing the raid. And those rewards will be amazing for a new player and will help tremendously in your progress. You'll get credits, you'll get gear materials, you'll get gears at level 50 or 60, you'll get character shards. So being in a tier 6 league is going to be amazing for a beginner, and yet again check my video on how to find a league. And you'll also go get league medals. So what you are going to do with league medals? With league medals you are going to go into the store. This is the league store, and from over here you can buy specific characters. I have also a guide on that I will link down in the description as well. And you can just buy 5 shards at a time for a specific character, and also get their gears from this menu once you have unlocked them. And so there's also XP capsules menu, but I recommend you get XP capsules only once you have unlocked almost all the characters here. And as I said, I have a guide on what characters to go for, but what I can tell you for a beginner is to go straight for King of the Tents Aquaman, since he is one of the best characters in the entire game and will help you tremendously as a beginner. This was pretty much it for the league think I could go much more in depth about raids and about how to do well in raids, but I also have guides on that. Definitely check my guide playlist. I will most definitely link that, and go head over there because I don't want this video to be longer than 30 minutes. I think we are going to get to 30 minutes most definitely. So this was league for you, and leagues are very important in a new player's starting a new account, and try to get a league that also has a Discord so you can socialize with people over there, you can form bonds, and you can have a stable league that will for sure not kick you out. More on the league in the guide in the description. So over here you are going to have some challenges. Over here you are going to have a challenge for a specific character. By doing this challenge you will be able to gather shards and work towards unlocking this specific character. For example, right now it's a challenge for Speed Force the Flash, a great character to unlock, and in order to get the shards you're going to complete the difficulties. And you'll be able to do 2 times a day each difficulty. When a new day is going to come, you should most definitely do that, but I don't think it's worth refreshing the challenge. So when it's a good character, definitely do it. How do you know it's a good character? Subscribe to my channel and watch my new series where I talk about the challenges, the arena seasons, and the chests in the game, and what is worth getting and what is not. And the other challenge that we have here is going to be the multiverse challenge. This has a chance to drop some shards for a plethora of characters and some gears for them. This is also definitely worth it. As I have said, it depends from challenge to challenge. Join my channel in order to be informed about it. You are going to have over here the resource missions. Let's get back and enter it again so you can see also the menu. Right over here in the corner is resource missions. In the resource missions you will get 6 days of the week experience capsules in order to level up your heroes, as I have said. And 1 day of the week you will get credits, lots of credits. So you should do your best to finish the difficulties as soon as possible, because each difficulty is going to be progressively giving you better rewards, and you only get 3 tries every single day. So you will start the game with the, let's say, the tech challenge that is right now. You will do the first 3 missions, and then in order to do difficulty 4, 5 and 6 you will need to wait a full another week for it to come back again. So make sure to reach that difficulty 8 as soon as possible and farm it. You can also refresh it with gems. In terms of the ones that give experience capsules, you could refresh it with gems, but I don't see it mandatory or really worth it. In terms of those that give credits, it's only one. I think it's on Sunday. Where is it? Is this one, the credits mission? You could refresh the amounts of tries you can get with gems, but only do that once you have reached mission 8. But most certainly a thing worth doing, and a thing worth grinding towards getting to that last one. Over here you are going to have the objectives and achievements and all that good stuff. So you are going to get some certain things over here that you should do every single day. At the beginning of the game you should go ahead and do each one of them in order to level up your account. And after some time you can just do specific ones. For example, I never do the casual pursuit because I don't really play normal campaign anymore, but as a beginner you should make sure to finish all those missions because they do tell you to do things that you would normally do if you are going to play the game right, so they can be decent guidelines towards your progress. And at the same time make sure you do the skilled craftsman mission every single day because the reforge is going to be a very hard to come by thing and a very important thing. Then you have the achievements where you can get lots of gems by completing certain achievements. You shouldn't really go for specific achievements since you will get them by just playing the game, but you should most definitely be happy when you get the gems from here, and we will talk about in the next section of the video where we talk about how to spend your gems in the store. We will talk about that. And then here you got the growth packs, which are packs that you can buy in order to get some specific things for leveling up your account. Considering the prices in this game in general, this is going to be some pretty good value you can get for the money you are paying. So if you want to put money in the game, you should start with the growth packs because they are most certainly worth it compared to the other things in the game. Yet again, I don't say you should or should not spend money in the game. I am a free-to-play player and I'm having an amazing time and my account progression is doing well. So it's most importantly that you know what you're doing, and if you also want to spend some money, then be my guest. If not, then you don't need to. Also over here you're going to have the story mode. Story mode has some different chapters from chapter 1 all the way to chapter 8. You will unlock new chapters as your account is going to level up, as far as I remember, or as you progress through the campaign. Either your account level up or progressing through the campaign, I don't really remember it. But you should most definitely do those because you don't fight with your own characters, you fight with the characters that are going to be given by the game to you. And you are able to practice with some characters, see how some characters that you do not own feel to play. And at the same time you'll get some rewards because up to chapter 4 or chapter 5 you're going to get gems for completing every single one, and after that you're going to get shards from for some specific character. Armored Superman, yes, Armored Superman it is, but it's most definitely worth doing the story because you don't have to use your own characters and you are going to get rewarded for doing so. Getting into the dreaded store. This is going to be a very big trap for very many players because there are a lot of chests over here that are not worth to buy and very few chests that offer you a decent amount of reward for the gems that you're going to spend. So we have talked in this video, not even intentionally, but we have mentioned a lot of times the many ways by which you can get yourself some gems. And those gems are going to be able to be spent over here and in other places also that we talked about in this video, but they're also going to spend over here. And you will have a plethora of chests to choose from. So, first of all, as a beginner, a safe choice would be the hero chest, because of the fact that it has a chance to give you a gold hero and the chance to give you a silver hero. At the beginning of the game, even though good heroes are very good, silver heroes are going to be also good for you. And also don't go for legendary characters. You can see that over here there is a chance for legendary characters. There is chances on a lot of the chests in the game. There is even chests that are specifically oriented towards a chance to a legendary character, but you should not go for it. Legendary characters are not that good, and you can definitely have an amazing account without having any single legendary characters. So this is a good one to get, the hero chest as a beginner. The premium chest is another very good one to get because you'll have a total of almost 20%, a 20% chance for a good drop, a gold hero, a specific gold hero or a legendary hero, but you need to keep in mind what premium hero is out there. So for example, this hero is a pretty good hero, other heroes are not so good. For this, yet again, follow my channel. I have an episode that is going to be played once every 4 days or something, where I talk about every single chest that is up in the game and if it's worth your money. For example, this is not worth your money since you can get all the characters from the League Store, so there's no reason to spend gems on it. This is worth your money and it's one of the best chests left in the game. But those chests are going to change and switch around. The only chest that will be forever here is going to be the basic chest and the hero chest. And for the basic chest, yes, get the free trial, but don't really worry about buying that at the very beginning of the game. So yet again, hero chest good, premium chest most of the times good. Those agility power-ups and other power-ups not good. And for the last chest, the other chests that are going to fluctuate over here, most definitely follow my channel because I do update everybody on all the chests that are in the game once every 4 days or something like that. And in the special offers, you are going to have some characters over here. It's up to you if you want to spend money in the game, but yet again, in my series I also talk about the offers and the characters that are out there and the gears, because for example, those gears can be gotten from the League Store, so there's no reason to get them. There's the Sim Booster Pack over here that you can get. It's going to give you 25 Sims. A Sim is going to let you skip a fight and get the rewards for that if you have already completed it. So it's basically an investment that is gems for time. This is the resource, the gear resources. It's a pack where you can get some gear materials and some gear reforges, but you're better off farming the campaign. And the other things are going to fluctuate. Yet again, if you are a new player, the hell of a deal is a pretty decent deal compared to the other deals in the game in terms of what resources it gives you. Yet again, I don't say you should buy it or that you need to buy it, but I just say if you are going to buy anything anyway, just go for this one. And in terms of currencies, never get straight up gems with money because that's not going to be a good value, and never ever get credits at the expense of gems because the values are yet again not worth it. And in terms of hero shards, most of the characters that are here are not really must-have characters, and the cost of just 5 shards is going to be pretty big, so I never go for those. And I think this was everything for the store part. And the very last part of this will be the Champions Arena part. Champions Arena is a game mode that you will unlock later in the game, but I will talk about it briefly over here. I didn't get to play it this season because I was busy. So basically, you are going to find an opponent. The higher he is compared to you, the more rewards you're going to get. For example, I am rank 96. If I hit the rank 93, I'm going to get 8 points and so on. And at the end of the season, depending on the amount of points that you will have, you will either remain in this division, fall in the next division. The arrow down are the ones that are going to leave this division. The equal sign is going to stay in the division, and the up arrow is going to be promoted in the next division. And at the end of the season, depending on your season, you will get a certain reward. And the higher division you are, the more rewards you are going to get. And the higher rank you are in that certain division, the more things you are going to get. Those are prismatic shards, can be converted in shards for a specific character, but we are getting into too much detail and I already have a guide on that. So basically in Champions Arena, just do your best to fight as high as possible opponents and get in higher leagues. This was everything for this one, and boy was it a long one and an exhausting one to make. I hope I covered every single aspect of the game. For any further questions, please go ahead and ask me down in the comments, but while I will 100% answer your first comment, please be specific in your question, and if it requires further replies, then do a separate comment with the second question that you might have, because that way it is going to be much more likely for me to see it and much easier for me to access it. This was everything for this video. Like it if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it. Yet again, all the guides that I did talk about in this video are going to be in the description. Thank you yet again for watching, and I hope you stick around, and I'll see you in the next video.